Wondering what to do in Glasgow? You're in the right place. We're hitting the streets of the city centre to uncover the best places to see, eat and drink. Get ready to find out how to navigate the city and find the top attractions effortlessly, so you can make the most of your trip. So, let's begin. We're standing at the bottom of Buchanan Street. It's the busiest and most well-known street in Glasgow, home to many shops, bars, restaurants and historic buildings. We'll soon explore some of its many attractions. But first, let's take a look around to see what's nearby and familiarise ourselves with this part of the city. This is Argyle Street. If you walk along here, you will find many shops, and if you continue to the end of Argyle Street, you will reach Trongate. It's an important historic part of the city that dates back to the 1500s. It was formerly the medieval centre of Glasgow. We'll reach there later in the tour. If we turn around and look in the opposite direction along Argyle Street, we can see Glasgow Central Station up ahead. It's the busiest train station in Scotland and was opened in 1879. It provides services to the west of Scotland, and it's also the main train station for journeys to England. You can also take a guided tour of the underground passageways beneath Central Station. You'll explore underground vaults and go beneath Glasgow's streets while hearing entertaining stories of the past. Turning around to the left, we come to St Enoch Square. It's the location of one of Glasgow's many subway stations. The Glasgow subway is the third oldest metro system in the world, having opened in 1896. It has a simple, circular route where both tracks reach every station. You can use the subway to reach the city centre, the West End, or south of the River Clyde. You can buy a single ticket, a return ticket, or an all-day ticket, which allows you to take unlimited journeys. Here in St Enoch Square, we have the original subway ticket office that was built in 1896. It's a beautiful, ornate building designed in the Flemish Renaissance style. It's no longer used for the subway, but is now occupied by Cafe Nero, one of the UK's many coffee chains. This is Slange Kilts. It's a high-quality kilt shop that makes kilts from a variety of fine tartans. The average Scottish person will usually only wear kilts at special occasions like weddings. It's common for people to hire kilts from places like Slange Kilts rather than buying them, since high-quality kilts can be expensive and they will only be worn for one-off events. There are a few bars here in St Enoch Square. Here we have Howdy's, an American country-themed bar that opened in June 2024. Country music has become very popular in Scotland and the rest of the UK in recent years. There's also Masa Kitchen for Japanese food, including sushi. And Times Square, a pub serving a variety of food and drinks. Another place you may want to visit here is the St Enoch Centre, a shopping mall which has a food court in the upper level, free-to-use toilets, and a games arcade. If you make your way to the bottom of the square, you have convenient access to the River Clyde if you wish to walk along its promenade. The River Clyde is a vital part of Glasgow's success. It enabled Glasgow to prosper in the tobacco trade in the 1700s, dominate shipbuilding in the 1800s during the Industrial Revolution, and was also a major shipbuilding site during World War II. Now, let's make our way back to Buchanan Street. The street was created by a wealthy tobacco merchant named Andrew Buchanan in 1780. The trading of tobacco and other goods was a major economic asset for Glasgow in the 1700s. Here on Buchanan Street, you can enjoy some shopping, admire some of the city's historic buildings, and visit some bars, cafes, and restaurants. This is the Argyle Arcade. It was built in 1828 as a covered walkway that helped to bring people from busy Argyle Street to the newly opened Buchanan Street. Today, it continues to operate as a shopping centre for some of the finest diamonds, jewellery and luxury watches in Scotland. Whether you're looking for some luxury items or just need to escape the notorious Scottish wind and rain, the Argyle Arcade is a worthwhile stop on your trip through the city. Just a little further up, we come to Prince's Square. It's a luxury shopping and fine dining space with a stunning facade and interior. You can explore well-known clothing shops such as Levi's, Kurt Geiger and All Saints. Indulge in some chocolate treats at Hotel Chocolat. Enjoy a coffee break at Launch Coffee or Tinderbox. Or have a restaurant meal at Cranakin, Pavone or the Clubhouse. You can even catch a movie at the Everyman Cinema. If you walk a little bit further up the street, you will find Mitchell Lane. It leads to a few bars and restaurants, and also the Lighthouse, a historic building that was designed by a famous Glasgow architect and artist named Charles Rennie Mackintosh. Mackintosh's groundbreaking work was a part of the Art Nouveau movement, and he designed many buildings in Glasgow around the year 1900. The Lighthouse features a viewing platform for views of the city and exhibitions for design and architecture. Sadly, at the time of this video, the Lighthouse is temporarily closed and it is not known when it will reopen. But we don't have to go far to reach another Glasgow attraction, the Willow Tea Rooms. Tea rooms have been a part of Glasgow's social culture since the early 1900s. They were first developed by Glasgow native Catherine Cranston, a visionary businesswoman who opened a chain of tea rooms that excelled in service, cleanliness, and decor. Many of her tea rooms were designed by local artists. The Willow Tea Rooms here was opened more recently in 1997, but its design is inspired by one of Catherine Cranston's original tea rooms that existed on Ingram Street. Along with tea, they also serve food, including traditional Scottish breakfast and dinner options. Unlike other European cities, much of Glasgow city centre has a grid layout, which makes it relatively easy to get around. This is Gordon Street. It's named after a wealthy merchant named Alexander Gordon. Along Gordon Street, you'll find coffee places, shops, restaurants, and if you continue to the end, you'll reach the main entrance to Glasgow Central train station. We'll return to this part of Buchanan Street soon to continue our main journey, but first, let's see what we can find at the top of Buchanan Street. If you continue to the top of Buchanan Street, you will come to Buchanan Galleries, a shopping centre with a variety of shops and a food court. You'll also find the Royal Concert Hall, which hosts various events, including popular music acts. This is where Buchanan Street meets another of Glasgow's well-known streets, Sauchiehall Street. It has a long reputation as one of Glasgow's nightlife spots, where a number of bars and clubs can be found. It also features shops, cafes, and restaurants. Sadly, the street has been in decline for a number of years due to a variety of factors such as economic downturn, long-term roadworks, and fires. However, it is improving once again thanks to the improvement works that are taking place throughout Glasgow, such as the installation of trees, benches and cycle lanes that have made it an attractive location for businesses once more. You'll find another of Glasgow's tea rooms here too, the Mackintosh at the Willow. Opened in 1903, it was designed by Charles Rennie Mackintosh, and its authentic design has been maintained to this day. If you're looking for a Scottish restaurant near Sauchiehall Street, you may want to take a short walk to Ardnamurchan, which is located on Hope Street. Now, let's go back to our main journey on Buchanan Street. If you're a customer in a pub or restaurant, or anywhere that serves alcohol in Scotland, you can ask for tap water for free. The tap water in Glasgow comes from Loch Katrine and also goes through various treatment processes before it reaches the city. From Buchanan Street, we can walk down this side street into Royal Exchange Square. It's home to a number of establishments, including a Scottish restaurant called Glasgow, an Italian restaurant named Banca di Roma, a restaurant and cocktail bar called The Social, and DiMaggio's, Italian restaurant. The building in the centre of the square is the Gallery of Modern Art building. It's a free-to-enter museum, which showcases artworks and has a library in the basement. The building itself was built in 1778 and was originally a mansion of another wealthy merchant named William Cunningham. Outside the gallery, you'll find the Duke of Wellington statue, which famously has a traffic cone on its head. The cone is placed there by locals. It started as a mischievous prank, but the cone has been placed on the Duke's head so many times and with such consistency that it has become a recognisable symbol of the city itself. We're now heading towards George Square, which is the main square here in Glasgow. We'll explore it soon, but first, let's check out some nearby eateries. This is Greggs. It's a popular chain bakery that has locations all over the UK. They serve affordable, light food options that you may want to try. Their most well-known options are probably the pastries, which include the sausage roll, the steak bake, the chicken bake, as well as several other varieties. They also serve breakfast food in the morning, including hot filled rolls, which are a very popular local favourite. You get a bread roll with your choice of fillings, which can be bacon, sausage, or a combination of those options if you wish. If you go to one of the local breakfast food places here in Glasgow, you can have another filling with your morning roll that's exclusive to Scotland, a potato scone, or, as the locals call it, a tatty scone. This is St Vincent's Place. It's home to a number of restaurants, including Italian restaurant La Vita, Spanish restaurant Café Andaluz, Ralph and Finn's, Chinese restaurant Jimmer, and Scottish restaurants The Citizen and Anchor Line. The bar and restaurant at the corner here is Wetherspoons. It's a large chain pub business that operates all over the UK. It's a popular venue that offers relatively cheap food and drinks. This one has a prime location here in George Square and offers outdoor seating. Unfortunately, George Square is currently undergoing major improvement works which are scheduled to be mostly completed by August 2026 and with some additional work to be completed by spring 2027. This is Glasgow Queen Street train station. It's a smaller train station than Glasgow Central, but it provides journeys to many interesting places throughout Scotland. It has journeys to Scotland's capital Edinburgh, which you can reach in around 50 minutes on the express train or 80 minutes on the slower train. The 50-minute express train is definitely the more pleasant and scenic ride, so try to catch that one if you can. Queen Street Station also provides journeys to many other destinations that you may want to visit, such as Oban, Stirling and Perth, and further connections can be made to reach Dundee, Dunfermline and Aberdeen. Let's zoom ahead to the other side of George Square to see what we can find. This is Glasgow City Chambers. It operates as the offices of Glasgow City Council. It's an impressive building that was built in 1888 in the Beaux-Arts style. This style was all about creating buildings that felt important and powerful, so it borrows those strong classical ideas from ancient Rome and the Italian Renaissance, but then adds its own lavish, highly decorated touch. The opulent building is a symbol of Glasgow's vast wealth in the 1800s, during the Industrial Revolution, when Glasgow was a major engineering and shipbuilding centre. At the height of its shipbuilding success, it built 25% of the world's seagoing ships. There are guided tours of the city chambers available twice each day, Monday to Friday. Next to the city chambers, you'll find the Piper Whisky Bar, a Scottish bar which serves a range of Scottish whiskies. It also serves a variety of hot meals and provides live music. This leads us to our next major area of Glasgow city centre, the Merchant City. It's a hotspot for dining and nightlife with many bars, restaurants and cafes. There are also some LGBT-friendly bars and clubs. You can stroll around the Merchant City's mostly quiet pedestrianised streets and see a number of historic buildings. Like this one, Hutchison's Hall, a beautiful building that was built in the 1800s as a hospital and school, but is now occupied by a restaurant named Saints of Ingram. Speaking of Ingram, this is Ingram Street. It was named after, you guessed it, a tobacco merchant named Archibald Ingram in 1781. The Merchant City was formerly the business centre for Glasgow's tobacco merchants in the 1700s. Also known as tobacco lords, these merchants amassed vast fortunes by dominating the transatlantic tobacco trade, primarily importing from American slave labor plantations and re-exporting to Europe. To the people of Glasgow, they were the architects of the city's rapid growth and prosperity, funding impressive civic infrastructure and cultural institutions. But sadly, this prosperity was the result of the exploitation of enslaved people. On a lighter note, a great way to explore the city is the Mural Trail. There are around 30 murals, like this one, dotted around the city. And there's a map that you can find online, which will guide you to each mural and provide you with information about each one. You'll find a variety of images that represent Glasgow's history, culture, its beloved musicians, and more. This particular area of the merchant city has a high concentration of bars and restaurants, so it's definitely somewhere to check out if you're looking for those types of experiences. This street is Candleriggs, which was originally built in the early 1700s and was a place where candle makers would work by hand. It was a time before the use of factories and machinery. This is Merchant Square. It started life as a fruit market in the 1800s, but now it's a large indoor drinking and dining space. It's home to an eclectic range of bars and restaurants, from coffee, brunch, and sandwiches to contemporary dining, cocktails, and nights out. There is a market in Merchant Square every Saturday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. In this area, you'll find several Irish bars. It's an area frequently visited by Glasgow Celtic supporters. Celtic Football Club are one of Scotland's two biggest football teams, and they have a strong connection to Ireland. Their rival is Rangers Football Club, who are typically more aligned with the United Kingdom. The two teams have an intense rivalry that goes back many decades. This is the Trongate area, which we looked towards at the beginning of this tour. It has various historic buildings, though the most notable is the toll booth steeple. It's all that remains of the former toll booth building, which from 1626 was used as a council building, prison, and was the site of public executions. This area was also the main place of business for the wealthy tobacco lords of Glasgow during the height of their success in the 1700s. But this area goes back even further to the very early years of Glasgow. The first toll booth building was built here in the 1300s, when the Glasgow we know today was mostly fields and countryside. And if we go past the toll booth, we come to another historical site from the earliest years, High Street. It's the very first road that was built in Glasgow. High Street has seen many centuries of history. It was an important thoroughfare that led to the River Clyde. It was also the original site of the University of Glasgow, which is the second oldest university in Scotland, dating back to the 1400s. But High Street also leads to perhaps the most important historical site in the city, the site where the city of Glasgow was born. It's the site of Glasgow Cathedral. It's the oldest building in Glasgow. It was originally built in the 1100s and was dedicated to St. Mungo, who led a Christian community of people at this site in the 500s. You can visit Glasgow Cathedral for free. Nearby, you can also visit the St. Mungo Museum of Religious Life and Art for free. Across the street, you can visit the Provand Lordship, which is the oldest house in Glasgow, having been built in 1471. It's another free attraction, which will give you an insight into life 500 years ago. The final stop on our journey is the Necropolis. It's a Victorian cemetery that had its first burial in the 1830s. Visitors can walk over the aptly named Bridge of Sighs and wander along the cemetery's winding paths to reach the top of the hill. There you can enjoy views of the city of Glasgow. The Necropolis is a vast cemetery with 50,000 burials and 3,500 tombs, which gives it its nickname, the City of the Dead. Thanks for watching this guided tour of Glasgow city centre. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and look out for our Glasgow West End tourist guide video.